Hey, Hexabu here, cracking for you, and you know what? I finally got my dirty mitts on Panzer Corps 2. I've played about 8 to 10 hours of the last few days, and I really enjoyed it so far, and you ask, Panzer Corps 1 was such a wonderful game with literally thousands of hours of really good content. What could Panzer Corps 2 possibly offer to supplement it? And I don't have a definitive answer for it yet. I haven't finished the game and you will hear it in my review. But so far there are a few points that I've really enjoyed about it, so let's go through them. So the first thing you see when you start up the game and you go through the menus is the sheer amount of the content there is. The game offers 61 missions in its 5 campaigns. My suspicion is that 3 of those campaigns, Poland, Barbaros, and Kursk, are probably somehow interconnected, just like it was in the original Panzer Corps and the old Panzer General series. North Africa and Italy are slightly more interesting. You didn't see that in Panzer Corps 1. My suspicion is that I haven't seen them yet, but North Africa is probably similar to Africa Corps. It's pretty big, 14 to 17 scenarios, so it'll cover North Africa campaign, plus if you're lucky, probably Middle East, and the 1943 Southern Italy campaign in which you play as the Germans. I'm not even mentioning the individual scenarios and puzzles, which are quite interesting. I haven't gone deep into them, but that's a really good idea. It's also worth noting that there are broad customization options for your campaigns. Some of them you could see in Panzer Corps 1, some of them are new, and finally, you can choose whether you want to play Guderian, Munchtown, or Rommel difficulty up front. And let me spell it right away. I'm playing on the general difficulty with a Race Against Time special challenge. That's Guderian in Panzer Corps 1 talk. I essentially get 5 turns less. You can say I like my deadline stiff. Next up, there have been a bunch of combat innovations. I'm gonna mention a few, but there are definitely more. Mass attack used to be a real thing in Panzer Corps 1, but now it's telegraphed much more clearly, plus you get a bonus for attacking from the opposite sides. There are a few other bonuses like that. Recon units, if you're attacking together with them, give you an accuracy bonus. High ground is a bonus to range and to attack if you're in the hills, and engineers help you build entrenchment now if you're next to them. Plus, which I believe is very important, suppression stays with the unit after it is attacked, and every unit class deals suppression, not just artillery and strategic bombers, so suppression is a big deal now. And finally, let's get to the feature that was really waiting for, which is the new call slot system. Unlike Panzer Corps 1, when you only had 1 slot per unit, now every unit type and class has its own weight in terms of slots. So you can have a really heavy tank that occupies 6 slots and a light tank that occupies 3. The same applies to artillery guns, planes, infantry, everything. And I really like the way it's worked out, because now when you're planning your Corps force and you're planning a mission, you can actually see that you have 2 slots and maybe 200 prestige, which is not much in any case, but you can buy a 7.5 centimeter gun and horse carriages. Was that possible in Panzer Corps 1? No! In Panzer Corps 2, that's an absolute reality. Alright, this has taken long enough. You will hear more of my criticism and praise of this game in the future, but now, let's hear the tale of 2 Polands. Alright, and as soon as you choose that Poland 1939 campaign, you're presented with a terrible choice. Poland South or Poland North? And let me spoil the answer for you now. If you're looking for an easier game, go Poland North. The game graciously provides suggestions for the 2 routes, and the word siege in the southern routes should really be a clear signal for you. Both the routes have 2 missions in them. The first mission in both of them is pretty easy. It's really easy. In south it's slightly more difficult, but the second missions are quite different. And that's where this strategic warning that the game offers really applies. In Poland South, the second mission is pretty heavy on the infantry. You will need the tanks, but you'll need more infantry there because you'll have to take more towns and Warsaw, and there will be stiffer resistance in the air. Poland North will offer more open spaces, and a bigger tank corps will be useful. But now let's do a quick overview of the mission, shall we? The first mission in the northern track is conveniently called Poland North, and there are pretty much two main objectives in addition to what is shown on the map. What you should do in this mission to succeed in it. If you go directly to the east, you'll see that there is a big plain out there, and obviously there will be Polish tankettes waiting for you. Just go with your tanks there and clear that field just to avoid those nasty counterattacks when you least expect them. But the route to taking the towns in the southeast, i.e. Helmno and Grudziądz, goes through Bydgoszcz. Take it and the bridge next to it. The airport is really nice also, but the bridge is not particularly well protected. There is a tank unit out there, but it's not particularly heavy, and you will be able to take it out with your own tanks and your own infantry, and then just take Helmno and Grudziądz and the other objectives. At the top, it's not crucial, it's not required for the mission, but you can take it for the prestige points. Please avoid the towns unless you are planning to attack them, especially with tanks. Your tanks are expensive, but they're pretty weak, and the AI will be happy to attack them with their infantry. So let's see how it goes. Mission 2 in the northern track is called Bug River, and it's slightly more interesting than the first and slightly more complex. Here you've got 2 spots for deploying your units, and immediately on the west I recommend that you place most of your infantry, most of your artillery, and maybe a tank unit, preferably not. In the east, place your entire tank force, 1 infantry unit, and maybe a little leftover artillery. If you've got self-propelled artillery, fine, place it there. So what you're gonna do right off the bat is send your infantry towards Warsaw. It's mostly city, and it's gonna be slightly slow and more difficult, so you'll need artillery there, you'll need your pioneers there. Just go through that city, it'll be slightly slower, slightly more difficult. In the east, you will use your tanks and advance towards the southeast, towards Brest and Sedlice. Don't forget about that infantry unit I talked about. Send it to Białystok. Białystok and Bloom, Białystok and Bloom. There's just an AT gun there. You'll be able to kill it with just your infantry and use all your tanks, your artillery to advance southeast. There is a little auxiliary contingent in the southwest. You might try to mount a defense there, but most probably these units will get killed. Let the enemy take those objectives. You can return there. Now, as soon as you approach Warsaw and the river between Sedlice and Brest, i.e. Bug River, you please stop. Don't rush with your tanks. Even if you've got bridging units, there will be enemy tankettes and cavalry waiting to counterattack you. Plus, you need infantry to attack those cities, because otherwise there's no way you can take these objectives. So wait. You can cross the river, but expect stiff resistance, expect counterattacks. Just persevere, take Warsaw, and bring your infantry to the east. That's how you crack it. And let's see it played out. Mission 1 on the Poland South route is called Poland South. I see a pattern emerge here, and here the briefing is deceiving you. The briefing is gushing about all these bridges in the west, that you have to take them immediately and everything. Please do! But if you don't take one of them, and I can suggest you don't hurry taking the northern one, nothing will happen. Just advance towards everything. There is little comments about Kielce I'd like to make. That's the little town in the southeast out there. The briefing tells you that you should take it as fast as possible to avoid enemy reinforcements. In fact, you have to take it before turn 5. And I've tried. Hell, I've tried. I think that's impossible. You can't cover the distance distance to Kelce in 4 turns. So it's really impossible, and what's worse, unnecessary. I've never been able to complete the bloody task, and I've never seen any serious reinforcements. So I've always been able to easily kill off the enemy tanks there and advance towards Radom and Puławy Bridge. And that's what you should do. Advance in the south as fast as you can. Take Kielce, Radom and Puławy Bridge. In the north, advance slowly and carefully and mostly to distract enemy units and to take that nice airfield if you can, because it would be really useful to bring your airplanes closer to the action. And Tomaszow Mazowiecki is reasonably easy to take, so there. And finally, we have the last and the most difficult mission of the 4, Warsaw, the second mission in the southern track of the Polish campaign. First things first, the layout of your army. Place your infantry and most of your artillery in the west. Place all of your tanks in the east. As you can see, in the west you've got your little tiny towns and Kutno somewhere up there that you have to reach as soon as possible. With the tanks you've got the open field out there, the infantry will be just cannon fodder there. Plus, with your planes, I prefer placing them in the central airfields first. The ones around Łódź are a bit too remote for my liking, so do that first. Next, what should you do in this mission? First, you should listen to the briefing. You should attack Kutno and clear the field in the middle of the map. Don't attack Warsaw, don't spread your tanks around. Clear Kutno first, and you can send some of the tanks, send over all of your infantry there and send some of the tanks there. Just get rid of that town and then go to the Kampinoska forests in the upper middle part of the map. Only then should you go to Warsaw, when everything has been cleared. There's plenty of time to complete this mission. Normally it's 20 turns, and I've been able to do it in 15, so no problems there. Also, the briefing mentions a fortification, a bunker next to Warsaw, and tells you a sweet little story about how if you kill it, it'll drain the morale of the defenders, and it will suppress the enemy units around it, but it's a bitch to kill. It's incredibly difficult, so just avoid it. Don't stand next to it, it's pretty heavy hitting, so just avoid it, go around it, just take the city. Don't bother about the bunker. Let's see how it looks. And that's it. I hope these tips will help you make the difficult choice of going south or north, and will help you have more fun playing Panzer Corps 2. If you like this stuff, please subscribe. I really need those subscribers. Check out the comments and leave your thoughts there too, and maybe even like this one. And to end the day, here's a little joke from Hexaboo. 2 panzers go to the Panzer bar and ask the Panzer bartender for 2 Panzer drinks. To which he replies, "Sorry, no can do. My barrel has been rifled through." Night!